Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including the new leaked Model 3 performance, Model Y popularity growing, Cybertruck updates, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, we have some updates on the increasing popularity of the Model Y and Tesla as a whole. First, Tesla's vehicles have claimed 3 of the top 10 spots for best-selling EVs in the US. This sales data came from Kelley Blue Book and their parent company, Cox Automotive, to put together a comprehensive list of the best-selling electric vehicles. In 9th place overall was the Tesla Model X, which sold 23,015 units. The Model S and Cybertruck didn't make it onto the list, but Tesla's luxury SUV is still an exciting option for many, almost a decade after its initial launch. In 2nd place was the Model 3 at a whopping 220,910 units sold in the US. For a lot of customers, this sporty sedan offers a great value while not sacrificing performance or style. With the new Model 3 refresh coming to the US very soon, I'm sure this car is going to do even better in 2024. And then, unsurprisingly, in 1st place is the Model Y, which sold 394,497 total units in the US in 2023. This is definitely a crazy number for this car to have reached, but it's unsurprising given the breakout success that this car has been since its release. This car sold more units than all of the other cars in the top 10 combined, and accounts for a grand total of 33.2% of all EVs sold in the US last year. The Model Y hasn't been able to clinch the top spot of overall best-selling car in the US. That title still belongs to the Ford F-150, but it does sit very comfortably in the number 5 spot overall. Worldwide, however, the Model Y has at several points been the best-selling car in the world. Elon Musk predicted back in 2021 that this car would take that title, and it did last year. In China alone, the Model Y sold a record-breaking 456,394 units, an increase of 44.74% year over year. The Model 3 sold a respectable 147,270 units there, but that does account for a period where Model 3 production had been halted as they retooled for that car's refresh. The Model Y's success is truly remarkable, and with the Juniper refresh coming on the horizon, those updates and improvements may propel it to even more heights. 2024 is surely going to be a big year for Tesla with the release of the Cybertruck, the new Model 3 in the US, and then potentially the new Model Y coming worldwide. I can't wait to see what they do next. Next up today, the new Model 3 refresh is just around the corner for North America, and it's currently the only Model 3 you're able to configure on Tesla's website. When you go to their website, delivery timelines for the normal rear-wheel drive and long-range versions say February to March, but the question still remains as to where a Model 3 performance is. This hasn't been announced in any form from Tesla, but the rumors are it's delayed because Tesla is planning something special here. In the past, we have seen ludicrous badging pop up for this, which looks fairly similar to the Plaid Model S and X badging. Seemingly, it would remain dual motor and keep Plaid exclusive to their flagship vehicles, but this could be the introduction of a performance model that actually stands out from the other trims in major ways. Currently, once you get inside a performance Model 3, it's essentially the same car. Here, as leaked in Tesla's parts catalog last year, the Model 3 would include sport brakes, suspension, and wheels. It is also rumored that Tesla is going to be doing something, quote, pretty special here, and that in addition to those changes, there could be exterior design features and unique software elements to optimize what is added in this spec. We have seen Tesla specifically cater their software to the car with the Cybertruck, so maybe we could see them do the same here, or this simply could refer to track and launch modes available on screen. One way to clearly know this is the Highland Model 3 also comes in this photo, showing the updated taillights and written out Tesla badging. This ludicrous badge has only been intended for this car. Last year as well, there were some leaked photos of special sport seats for Tesla's Plaid vehicles. They are much different from their normal seats and include an integrated Plaid badge within them. We still have yet to see these introduced, but now a Model 3 prototype was spotted with these seats. Seemingly within that same spot that a Plaid badge would go, there would be a ludicrous badge for the Model 3 Ludicrous. It has more bolstering for side support and a different headrest. It seems that Tesla is looking to clearly refresh the Model 3 performance and give it a different feeling inside. This is great to see since so far the changes haven't been super noticeable, as they are with most other brands. Here, once you get inside, you'll hopefully know that this is a ludicrous model, and we may see Tesla do the same with the Plaid at the same time. Tesla is always riding a delicate balance of refreshing cars without harming sales of their other cars. With the Model 3 introduction in China, and now the US about 6 months after that has created a bit of the Osborne effect, where customers are waiting for the next version of the product. In this case, if a performance-distinguished, ludicrous Model 3 comes out, but Plaid is the same as it has been, Tesla may see some performance-focused customers waiting or going for that car instead. So considering these seats have leaked on both the Model 3 and Model S now, this change could be on the horizon soon. What are your thoughts on the Model 3 performance, though? Will it be worth the wait? And are you excited to see Tesla delivering a distinguished performance model in the future? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. Next up today, Tesla has just officially slashed prices on their inventory wrap service. For years, wraps have been a popular third-party option for customizing your Tesla to have unique colors, or to add an extra layer of protection to the existing finish. Tesla unveiled their own in-house wrapping service back in October, offering 7 different colors as well as either a satin or gloss clear wrap for the Model 3 and Y. Most wrap companies use a kind of vinyl-based coating on the car, but Tesla unveiled a special self-healing urethane-based film that protects the paint beneath from chips, scratches, and swirling. We don't actually know how different this is from other types. When this service was unveiled though, Tesla priced it between $7,500 and $8,000. This was definitely the upper price range for a wrap job, but this is a very delicate and precise process that can be inherently expensive, no matter where you go. Now, Tesla has responded and cut prices pretty dramatically for this service. An official Tesla wrap now costs between $5,700 and $6,000 for the Model 3 and Y, depending on the color that you choose. Tesla has also added a new color option, Satin Abyss Blue. It's a unique color that should certainly help your Tesla stand out, and is pretty different from the currently available blue paint job. Tesla has also announced that they are currently out of stock on their rose gold colored wraps. We don't know when this will become available again. This service is still only available in a very limited market, but we hope to see this start to roll out to service centers across the country. For now, you can get these official Tesla wraps at their service centers in West Covina and Oceanside, California. Like with all economies of scale, we may see this service's price continue to drop as it rolls across the world and their techs become more proficient at applying them. We'll have to wait and see though. The Cybertruck's wrap options have also been adjusted slightly, but not quite as dramatically as the Model 3 and Y. When it was unveiled, a Cybertruck color wrap cost $5,000 for a clear wrap and $6,500 for a color wrap. Now the color wrap has dropped slightly down to $6,000. This isn't a huge drop, but it does align with the pricing between the cars that this service is available to. Tesla offers 2 colored wraps for the Cybertruck, both black and white. Next up today, we have our first in-depth look at the full owner's manual of the Cybertruck. Tesla hasn't officially released this manual yet on their website, but as the first wave of non-employee deliveries begin, it has become available. T-Sportline has posted a 38-minute in-depth video where they show off all of the contents of this document. The owner's manual gives us a great insight into the vehicle's specs and a look at all of the features that this truck has to offer. It starts with a general overview of the vehicle before jumping into the nitty-gritty of each subsystem, including opening and closing doors, seating and safety restraints, storage, connectivity, driving, towing, autopilot, active safety features, dash cam, sentry, security, climate controls, navigation and entertainment, charging and energy consumption, maintenance, specs, roadside assistance, and what to do in case of an emergency. This is a very technical document, but it offers a ton of great information regarding this truck and its operation. Next, regarding the Cybertruck, Elon Musk has hinted that the Cybertruck may soon be coming to China, although not in the way that most may think. A user on X asked Elon about rumors that this truck would be coming to China, to which he responded, "Getting Cybertruck road legal in China would be very difficult, but we could ship some prototypes over for display." Regulations on vehicles vary across the world, and this goes to show some of the challenges of being an international automaker. A car that is perfectly legal in one market may require major changes before it can be sold in another. Tesla used to allow customers in China and Europe the ability to reserve the truck, but they stopped orders from overseas back in 2022. There were some rumors that Idra, the company that makes Tesla's GigaPress casting machines, were building machinery for this truck in China, but that has been unproven so far. As it stands right now, Giga Texas is the only factory that will be producing this truck, and there is no word on when it may reach other markets. If Tesla is willing to ship these trucks overseas as display models, then it stands to reason that they do have aspirations of selling them there eventually, or a version of it. We'll have to wait and see just when that might be. As the Cybertruck continues to get into more customer hands, we are seeing some first-hand accounts of what this car can do. YouTuber Dennis Wang posted a video of one of the first documented cross-country road trips in this vehicle. He and some passengers took a 1,340-mile, 27-hour drive from Austin, Texas to Joshua Tree, California. The trip was intended to put the truck through its paces and see how well it could handle extended driving. Overall, he enjoyed his trip, but did run into a few snags that Tesla definitely needs to correct, including charging difficulties and infotainment glitches. He said, quote, "It's the most comfortable Tesla that I've owned, but in terms of efficiency, it was definitely lacking in range, and we had to stop a lot along the way. This is something that is pretty much assumed with a much larger truck." His Foundation Series truck has a top estimated range of 320 miles, but at times, he felt like the range was cut in half. During their 1,340-mile trip, they had to stop 12 times, averaging out about 110 miles between stops. These stops added an additional 7 hours onto the trip, which would have otherwise been a 20-hour journey. Wang did attribute these range reductions to the colder temperatures and their fast travel speeds, and he has since gotten better ranges, but this is still a pretty significant reduction here. On his trip, charging did present some issues beyond the obviously mentioned wait times. Older generation superchargers had trouble accommodating the larger Cybertruck, with their shorter cables having a hard time reaching the charge port. This will be less of an issue with the V4 superchargers that Tesla is currently rolling out, which specifically feature longer charging cables, but these issues still will persist for older generation superchargers. These new chargers will also be able to accommodate the Cybertruck's faster potential charging speeds, which will help to make road trips more feasible once Tesla unlocks those. He also mentions that several hours into their trip, the infotainment system glitched and went completely black. It did resume after the car was stopped for a while, but this is still something that needs to be addressed because we had the same issue on my review. He did cap off his road trip experience with a pretty good endorsement, saying, "It's a fantastic truck. The interior and build quality are definitely one of Tesla's best. It makes me really excited for what future Teslas will look like. I had a great experience when I got to spend a few days with the Cybertruck recently, and I think this truck really does offer some exciting features and utility. I posted a video on that experience, and if you're interested in checking that out, be sure to look for that on my channel or linked below." Last up today, some updates from other automakers. Ford has recently announced that they will be scaling back their transition to EVs to refocus on hybrid ICE cars, at least for the time being. Even though the legacy automaker hit a personal record for EV sales in November of 2023, selling 8,958 vehicles, they clearly are not happy with the progress of their EV programs. Ford CEO Jim Farley said during their Q3 earnings report that he was, quote, "so thankful we have kept our foot on the gas to freshen our ICE and HEV products as we enter a changing market." He added that Ford's ICE manufacturer would be strong and a growing business for years to come. While Ford reiterated their ultimate support for the Model E and their EV future, they simultaneously slowed over $12 billion in total EV spending. They claim that they will not be changing their overall EV strategy, but changing the flow of those investments. They plan to have their production at their Marshall plant, substantially reduce electric inverter and motor capacity, and scale back their vertical integration plans. Instead, Ford plans to increase their hybrid production as a bridge between ICE vehicles and fully battery electric vehicles. This strategy closely mirrors that of Toyota, whose EV sales account for only 1% of their total sales. This is very interesting to see because, as we know, reports of an EV sales slowdown have proven to be inaccurate. Instead, the problem seems to primarily be that many of these legacy automakers have not introduced enough EV options that can compete with Tesla and others on range, features, and price, especially production price for the company itself. Shifting from traditional ICE vehicles to fully electric cars has proven to be much more difficult than many of these companies were expecting. This has allowed for relative newcomers like Tesla and Rivian to gain a major market share with their EV-specific manufacturing expertise. It's very disappointing to see a major manufacturer backslide like this back into ICE vehicles, but I think time will tell if this move was a bit short-sighted. As EV sales and demand increase every year, the companies who were able to iron out the kinks early will likely reap the benefits in the long run. Over at BMW, they are continuing to expand their multi-billion-dollar investment into EVs, hoping to get a competitive edge against Tesla. After achieving an EV sales record last year, BMW has announced a $711 million investment to convert their main factory in Munich to produce exclusively EVs by 2027. And so far, that's just the start. In a press release, the company announced that they have a new factory under construction in Hungary that will only build their new class models starting in 2025. After the completion of the Munich factory, all of their new EV models will be made there, as well as in China starting in 2026 and Mexico starting in 2027. BMW has not announced an imminent end to their ICE production, but EVs are clearly a growing priority for the company. They announced the end of all ICE construction in Germany as EVs have grown to 15% of their 2023 sales. With these investments in their EV lines, BMW is hoping to take on Tesla directly. Their upcoming new class series will begin rolling out in 2025, including a new sedan and SUV. They have described this next generation as a benchmark in terms of range, charging speed, and pricing. The sedan is expected to be priced anywhere between $35,000 and $45,000, placing it in direct competition with the Model 3. If this car delivers on all the promises that BMW is making, then it could make a huge splash in the EV market when it arrives, especially if it has NACS and access to Tesla superchargers. Solar startup Aptera has just secured a multi-million-dollar battery supply deal and investment from Korean manufacturer CTNS. The company has goals of building a totally solar-powered EV that doesn't require being plugged in. Their published designs claim that this car will have a range up to 1,000 miles on a full charge and will be able to charge up to 40 miles per day through its onboard solar panels. These specs sound really impressive, but so far it has been slow going for this company to get off the ground. So far, they have showed off a series of beta versions, concept cars, and launched a public crowdfunding campaign to get production started. When the company is able to get production underway, they will be joined by South Korean battery company Creative Technology and Surprise, CTNS, to provide manufacturing support. This company posted on LinkedIn announcing that CTNS would be providing battery production lines for Aptera, as well as a $15 million investment. Aptera still has a lot to prove when it comes to creating a viable product. This partnership, however, is a major step towards being able to fully realize their solar-powered concept car. As of now, the company still has slots available in their accelerator program and are accepting reservations for a $100 deposit. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see the mysterious Tesla prototype spotted at Giga Texas, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.